Hello and welcome to this episode of Hampton Roads Business Live. Today my guest is Catherine Bennett. She is the Director of Community Relations for the Memory Center in Virginia Beach. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. The Memory Center is quite, I have had a conversation with you, but I also spent some time on your website. Very nice site, by the way.
Thank you.
And it was very informative as to what you do, and you have a niche that you fill, and it's an important one in today's aging population. We're seeing more and more of people with Alzheimer's. Can you just go ahead and give us an overview of the Memory Center if people haven't heard about it, what it does?
Sure. The Memory Center was built in 2008. It was designed specifically for people with Alzheimer's and dementia. Essentially, we are trying to give individuals value back, an environment that's conducive to Alzheimer's and dementia, an environment that gives them all of their daily routines back. So the disease robs people of many things, from going to the bank to having a drink in the afternoon to just going to a movie with their granddaughter or their children. And we are trying to give them back all of those daily activities in an environment that's safe, where they can have free roam and range of the entire community, and an environment that will help them just thrive with Alzheimer's and dementia. So I know that sounds kind of funny, but really in our environment, people are just so stimulated. There's always something going on. There's always activities. They're never bored, and it just helps them live with the disease in a safe place.
Okay, before we get into that, in depth and into the center, can you just give us an overview? So people watching, they may be familiar with Alzheimer's, for which the general population knows about it, but they might not know what dementia is, or they might not know the difference between Alzheimer's or dementia. And you don't have to have Alzheimer's to have dementia, right?
No.
Right. Okay.
Oops.
No. Go ahead. Please.
Unfortunately, dementia is kind of like the umbrella. There's many different forms of dementia that you can get. It also goes along with different diseases as far as Parkinson's dementia. Alcoholism can cause certain types of dementia, but Alzheimer's happens to be the most common form of dementia. And what happens with people with Alzheimer's is they start to go backwards in their mind. So they start to lose their short-term memory, and then they might say to you one day that they're in the 1920s, they're ready to go swing dancing, they want to go see a big band or such, and you really just have to travel back in time with them and help them live safely in the time that they're at, because in their mind that's really what their day is looking like.
Okay, and so now this center is, you mentioned it helps them thrive. And I read on your website that that starts just by the environment itself, the colors, the lighting, all of those things. I had no idea that was the case.
It's important to be in an environment that is specialized for this type of disease. People with dementia tend to look down. Sometimes they trip and fall a lot. So the idea behind our building is to really, with the lighting and the colors on the ceiling, draw their attention upwards. We want them to help correct some of their posture and hopefully get rid of some of the unnecessary falls that could land them in a hospital stay or in a skilled nursing environment. So by doing little things like that and adding touches like that to our buildings, what happens is that they live, again, safely in an environment that's designed for this disease, so that they're not having those falls that could end them in a hospital stay.
Right, so your center is designed, if I'm hearing you correctly, is designed to be inviting to them and to help their condition just by the way it's designed as far as its look, but also that it's designed safely for them to be able to walk around, and they're not locked in a room. They're within a center that they can move around and they can't hurt themselves.
Sure. The first thing that they walk into when they enter a building is a town center. So they have this huge open courtyard area, just like if you were walking in Town Center, Virginia Beach. It's lit by night posts outside. It's beautiful. It's just like if you're going to take an evening stroll at night, it's all lit up. And during the daytime, we have lots of natural light, so it feels like they're outdoors. So even on a day where it's raining and cloudy outside, indoors they're outside in their mind. So it's really nice, as well as having different colors and textures that are soothing. So if they're having a bad day, sometimes they can be frustrated, they can go into the library, which is a quiet area, and just relax and be in an environment that's calming and soothing so that they can take away some of the frustrations of their surroundings.
Now, you actually, that sounds pretty good. A nice place to live, huh?
It's a nice place to work too. It's all right.
Yeah. So the person is free to move around, but they're supervised. You have a very good ratio between staff and patients.
Absolutely. Quality of care is the #1 priority at the Memory Center. So what they've done is just built a relationship between the staff and the residents. So for every 1 staff member, they're only assigned 4 different residents per shift each day. On top of that, we have our medication aides. We also have licensed practical nurses. And then our director of nursing and our executive director of the entire facility are both licensed practical nurses.
Now you handle meals and everything. I mean, you know. So is this? I guess my first thought when I was looking at this is people coming to that probably have a lot of different medical issues.
Yes.
So you have a medical staff or personal staff that handles that, or they go to their regular doctor, or?
We have a medical director. He's a licensed geriatrician. He works over at Eastern Virginia Medical School and is in charge of the Glennon Center over there. Any of our residents that move into our community and decide that they'd like for him to be the primary care physician can choose to go underneath his care. What's really nice about that is he comes once a week to see all of the residents that are underneath his care in their home. Because remember, the Memory Center has now become their home.
Right.
So they're not being taken out of our community to go to a doctor's office with all the chaos that comes along with the doctor's office, and we're taking away, again, all of those frustrations. He's a wonderful doctor who also specializes in Alzheimer's and dementia, so we are really lucky to have him as our medical director. And we also benefit from bringing the students and the 3rd and 4th year residents from EVMS to clinic at our community. So our benefit to our building is really having that much medical care in our community and our residents not always having to leave. So.
Right. Now you mentioned several activities. You mentioned a library and you mentioned banking and things like that. And you have activities designed to keep them I wanted to say active, but activities that keep their mind going. And do you find that is it true that the more they utilize brain power, the better that is for their problem? Does it stay, hold it off a little or keep it from progressing so quickly?
Unfortunately, Alzheimer's and dementia are a terminal disease.
Right.
However, by including all of these activities daily, we're really helping them to exercise their mind and exercise their brain, not only by doing exercises with their body, but by doing brain games, by asking them questions, by doing different activities and social activities that really help them to thrive in an environment. So just to give you an example, our activities director puts out a monthly schedule.
Okay.
And then each day we put out a calendar. And we have a whole daily activities list of things that are going on. We have live entertainment anywhere from 2 to 4 times a week. We include pet therapy. We had a horse come in May, and we had a post-Kentucky Derby party. Full-size horse came in,
Wow.
saw our residents in the town center. It was huge. We have hot dog socials. We have ice cream every day at 1:30 for our residents. And that becomes a social hour. Families come, grandkids come. It's a big party.
That's great.
We also do live entertainment. So when they're having the live entertainment, we post what the words are for the songs that are going on. We also give them printouts, so if they can read it and hear it, hopefully they can follow along with the words. You would be amazed at how many residents know every word to a lot of these songs and sing it. We also have residents who play piano. We have residents who play drums. We have residents who sing. So just because they have the disease and it's robbed them of a lot, it hasn't robbed them of everything. So by introducing activities that were important to them one time in their life, it's bringing back those different memories and including them in an activity that was important to them.
So what I'm getting from this is that you're expanding the quality of their life. Just because they have Alzheimer's, that doesn't mean they have to stop living.
You're absolutely correct. There's no reason for them to stop having fun, to stop being outdoors, to stop going on outings. We are just giving them the safest environment for them to live in a wonderful place with people who love them. Our staff become their memory center family. We really form a lot of bonds with not only their family members, but with their residents.
Your staff knows their names and all too, you know. So it's not like they don't know who you are.
No, with the ratio that we have, we really offer person-centered care. So we know our residents, we know everything that we can know about them, and what's beautiful about that is the fact that their families have known them their whole life. And then this disease happens, and they no longer recognize mom, dad, their husband or wife. We meet them from the time that they've had the disease and forward. We embrace who they are with the disease, and we really help them to live the best possible life that they can live with Alzheimer's or dementia.
And these activities and all are their choice.
Yes.
They aren't forced to do anything they don't want to do. Obviously, you're not going to force someone to go see the horse.
No, of course everybody is invited. Sometimes
Right.
they might say no, but one of the things that boils back down to training is that our staff knows how to redirect people with Alzheimer's and dementia. So they might say no, and 5 minutes later we might ask them in a different way, and now they're really excited to come.
Right.
So it's the approach that we take, and it's the way that we go and ask them and invite them to participate. And sometimes you'll notice in our community, a lot of the other residents invite them to come along, and so that really encourages them to participate and go on different functions and just include themselves in things that are going on at the Memory Center.
Okay, now let's flip the questioning a little bit, directed at the families.
Okay.
Okay. Now I would assume it's the families that contact you about putting someone in at your center.
You would think. Most of the time, yes, it is the families that are contacting us. Sometimes it can be a guardian, and sometimes when it's early enough in the stage of Alzheimer's, the people are coming out and touring our community themselves.
Really?
So they might have just been diagnosed, and now they're in the state of, what do I do now? What's out there for me? Let me make my choices so my family knows where I want to be.
Right.
And at that point, they contact us, they come tour our community, they see what we have to offer, and hopefully they make the decision to come live at the Memory Center when the time is right for them.
I see. Okay. And the families now, they're allowed to see their family member anytime, 24/7?
Yes. What happens at the Memory Center is we have a keypad on our front door, and so each family member is given a code where they can enter the building. And occasionally you have the night where you're sleeping soundly and you sit straight up and you just have this gut-wrenching feeling that, oh my gosh, something's wrong with mom. You can call our staff 24 hours a day and we'll go put eyes on your mom or dad or your husband or wife and let you know that they're okay. However, sometimes that's not good enough, and so if you want to come in and see your loved one, you just come in like you normally would anytime, check on your loved one, and go home feeling that comfort that she or he is okay.
And I read the testimonials on your website.
Oh, good.
Very nice testimonials.
Thank you.
And they weren't like, this place is great. I mean, they were in-depth testimonials, and it showed me that they really found that they had great care was given their loved ones at the center. And most of them, they were there 2 years or something like that. So it wasn't like they were there a week, you know. So you must do a really good job with your, you know, I know as a caregiver it can be hard with someone that you don't want to put them somewhere, and you're torn about that.
Sure.
But it sounds like this is like putting them in Disney World compared to a regular nursing home.
It's funny that you say that, because I truly believe that we are Disney World for dementia. We are a theme park. So when you walk into our community, we have built a small city indoors for these residents to live the best life that they can possibly live with this disease. What happens with the family is from the minute they walk in our door or call me or contact any of our staff, we immediately are 100% there for them, whether it be resources, whether it be helping them do the move, or anything, going through each paper that we have to do for an admission, it's very important that we give them the best experience that they can possibly have, because this is a hard time. And the number one thing that I tell families all the time is that we are allowing you now to take the caregiver hat off and put your spouse cap back on, put your daughter cap back on, embrace who you used to be and not just the caregiver for your loved one. And now you can step back into that role and let us take over the caregiver cap.
Right. Well, that can be extremely important, because it can really take a toll on the family.
It absolutely can.
Okay. And so what else is there about the Memory Center that you'd like people in Hampton Roads to know?
I would just love for them to know that we take a unique approach to everything that we do for all of our residents. Alzheimer's and dementia is not the end. So when somebody is diagnosed with this disease, we can truly help them live the best type of life, the best quality of life in an environment that's safe for them in Hampton Roads. You have us in your backyard. We are right there. If you've never heard of us, go to our website, www.thememorycenter.com. It's completely spelled out. Call us at 412-1180. I'd be happy to give anybody a tour of our community and show them really what we have to offer and the way that we take care of not only our residents, but we also take care of the family members.
Well, you certainly seem to be filling a need that's becoming greater and greater as the baby boomers get older.
Yes.
You know, and I think that you're providing a great service there.
Thank you.
It certainly sounds wonderful for families that have that issue to deal with.
Thank you.
And I enjoyed having you in here. So if you have a loved one that is, or yourself have experiencing dementia or Alzheimer's, and you would like more information, you can call the Memory Center. The contact information is at the end of the video and on our website on this page. And I'm sure that they would be happy to answer any questions that you have and give you a tour. And we thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks.